Hey race fans, Big Trev coming at you one more time, and we're going to discuss and analyze the FireKeepers Casino 400, and that was at Michigan. One of two races at Michigan, and I tell you what, that is the most strange name I've ever heard for the name of a race, but it was the FireKeepers Casino 400. Larson started on pole, and he was okay, But Truex came on strong again, and won stage 1 and stage 2. So Truex has a total of 10 stage wins, and that's more than any other driver in the series right now. So that's pretty significant. We had only 4 different leaders. We swapped the lead 10 times total, and that does include caution flags and pit stops and green flag pit stops. We had 26 cars that finished on the lead lap and very low attrition at Michigan, surprisingly, with Danica Patrick being the only car officially out and retired. She had a crash with about 15 laps to go. It just was contact. They got jumbled up on a restart, but she was the only one out. So I'll tell you what, though, they were flying going in the corners. Some of these guys were going 215, 216 going into the corners, and that's really, really fast for Michigan. So I don't know if NASCAR is gonna dumb down the horsepower or something, but I'll tell you what, it was very, very, very fast going into those corners. They only got down to like 175 too, so they were still cooking coming out of the corners, and especially the front stretch. They'd get going almost 220. But I guess my son is talking to. He wants to tell you about the race too and what he thought. Is that so, Joseph? But so all in all, Michigan, not really my favorite race because it's one of those boring 2-mile tracks again, and it's a sister track to Auto Club Speedway. And if you're unfamiliar with Auto Club Speedway, that's formerly California Speedway, and it just seems to have a long green flag look to it, and there really was some green flag stretches, but towards the end, with about 60 laps to go, that's when it started getting good. There was a caution for debris with 50 to go. That's what it was. Because I remember Larry McReynolds on the broadcast documented that they were just outside their fuel window by 2 laps. And the caution was a mysterious debris caution. So that was kind of a phantom debris caution. So then they pitted and they restarted with about 46, 45 laps to go. So they saved fuel, shut it off, shut the engines off under caution. They documented that as well. And then with 20 laps to go, we had, I think we had a spin. I believe they were at commercial. They were doing a double box commercial, and there was a spin on the track, and someone, I forgot who it was, brought up the yellow with about 25 or 20 laps to go, somewhere in there. And then there was a restart, and then Clint Boyer got in the wall, and then after that restart, that's when Danica Patrick wrecked, and that ended her day. But she's been catching some fire lately from fans, just due to the fact that apparently she doesn't want to sign autographs, but that's another story. She told us some fans at Pocono. But anyway, back to the race here. But then we had a restart, I believe, with about 10 laps to go. Some guys, Kyle Busch stayed out. He was a setting duck. All the other guys came in, got tires and fuel. And Kyle Larson started on the pole and won the race. And by virtue of Kyle Larson's win, we have a new points leader heading into Sonoma. And that new points leader is the 42 of Kyle Larson. Martin Truex trails him by only 5 points, so it's not very much difference. And I believe they'll be swapping the points throughout the summer. We're looking ahead now to Sonoma, and that's going to be somewhat of a midsummer wild card, I guess you could say. It's going to really kick in. It really could shake up the points if we have a big wreck, which we've seen there before, or we have unexpected guys rise to the top. And I'm sure we're going to have the road course ringers in there as well. So we'll see who's strong. I'm looking for AJ Allmendinger to shine, and maybe he'll punch a ticket to the playoffs. So we'll just have to wait and see. And that is the Toyota Save Mart 350 from Sonoma, June 25th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. And that will be Fox's last race of the 2017 season. And then we head on to Daytona, where NBC takes over. So I'm excited about that as well. A new group of folks broadcasting the race. We've had the same for, when you have the same for 16 or 18 weeks, whatever, it just, time for a change. Time for a change in graphics, time for a change of taste in the booth. So I'm looking forward to it. But that's all I got for you. Congrats to Kyle Larson again and the 42 Chip Ganassi Racing team for that victory. Well earned at Michigan. So we'll see you next week.